What is up, you lovely people? If you can't tell, my voice is deeper than normal, and that is due to all of you saying so many nice things to me today. Today was the first day of the arena, or the fourth day of group stages. We've got 9 to 12 teams left. We had the teams that were in the lower bracket play through and are now in the qualification match, where you win, you go to the playoffs, you lose, you go home. So it's getting down to the wire. We had 4 matches today, and we're going to go through those. But before we get into that, I want to give you guys all a massive thank you. I was supposed to do a meet and greet for 30 minutes at the V1 booth today. It went for 2.5 hours. Y'all are so nice and so kind and so heartwarming. The amount of people coming up being like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I'm watching these videos because, seriously, I'm exhausted. I'll admit it. I'm shooting content all day with V1. I'm doing meet and greets. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I still always need to make sure to come back and do these videos because so many of you rely on them. So even though I'm trying to switch up and change up the content and make it a little bit more quality over quantity thing, a lot of you talk about how much you appreciate even getting back. You know, hey man, I was on my flight here and I couldn't watch the matches, and because of your recap, I know what's going on. So y'all are amazing. Seriously, I'm so excited to come back and see you guys all tomorrow and show you guys my appreciation. The reason why I do those meet and greets and stuff is to meet you guys, because without you guys, I don't do what I do. So enough sappiness. Let's get into the recaps. First match of the day is a big upset. It's the club versus Dignitas, and the club, the 3rd seed from South America, guaranteeing us a South American team in the playoffs, which is awesome. The number 3 seed has been going hard. Lost KV1, looking incredible as always. Love to see that out of them. Primarily Lost. I'm a sucker for Lost play style. He just has such a good understanding of the game. His 50 game is unmatched. And he sets up so much for his team. So absolutely love what they're doing over at the club. Started off with them getting a 3-2 victory, and everybody's like, all right, cool, they came to play. Dignitas bounced back in a shutout. And then back and forth affair until eventually club gets a victory. It is literally alternating games the entire time. Goes to 6, but club wins game 1, 3, 5, and 7. So that doesn't make any sense. 1, 3. I lied. Not alternating games. Club has to win 2 in a row, otherwise it would go to 7. There was a timeout from both teams that was used in this one, and I think they made a pretty big difference. Primarily, we saw it on the behalf of club. It seemed like things were starting to get out of hand. Even though it was Dignitas who won in Game 3, in Game 4, you could start to see Dignitas really starting to gain that momentum and started to swing in their favor in Games 4. And when Game 5 was about to hit, I thought it was an excellent timeout. Usually people save it to lose 2 in a row, but the timeout call on that one, I think, was a really big difference maker, and it allowed them to get that win in OT, slow down that momentum, and then inevitably close it out. So I would love to sit and talk with their coach. I unfortunately wasn't able to get the press interviews today. I was just busy with the meet and greet stuff while they were doing the press conference. I'll try to have some of those for you guys tomorrow, but so cool of them to recognize that kind of stuff. So the club playing upset on Dignitas. Dignitas is done for the year, and now we've got the club versus Furia, which is pretty sick. Up next, we then had Corp versus Optic Gaming, and Optic Gaming came to play. What originally looked like was going to be Optic starting to push away. Corp does bounce back. I got to sit and talk with Astral, who has become one of the friendliest French people I've ever known outside of Farah. Astral and I sat and talked for legitimately like an hour and a half. Love that boy. Talked about cars, talked about certain things. I still think, hey, Astral, if you're going to do it, get the M3 comp, man. Tesla's cool, but get the M3 comp. It was cool to sit and talk to him and his opinions. He felt like during that series that 2 of his teammates actually were like, yeah, we were actually pretty nervous during this at one point, and we weren't playing our best. So knowing they can get better is good. I think the Optic matchup definitely goes in their favor, and Optic didn't really stand much of a chance. But good to see Optic put up a fight, be aggressive. Miss had some pretty incredible 50s on the goal line, but primarily Corp just a better team in this one, as expected. So it was cool to see. Optic trying to put up a fight, but I think we all, being realistic with ourselves, expected them to be in the same position, just like they did last event. They finished top 8. This is about that same area of skill level because of the gaps, and the way the format works out. So Optic performing up to par, as I would assume they would, and then Corp showing that they are just simply the better team. Some pretty cool goals across the board. Corp does call a timeout, and you're starting to see more teams try to get ahead of that momentum swing, like I was talking in the last game, and it helps them a lot. So as soon as they lost that middle of the series, Eversax calls the TO, and then they win 3 in a row to close it out. Really enjoyable series, good mechanics across the board. Corp, a lot of potential. They are going up against Falcons, which Astral did express his concerns, like, hey, they're good. They play super clean. They don't really make mistakes. and they don't play nervous. That was the number one thing that Astral emphasized, was this is a team that's super confident in their play, and they do not make mistakes due to nerves. So I feel like this one's going to be more of a mental battle than anything. I think both teams are fully capable of winning. We've seen how close they've played in the past. So Corp, it's going to come down to the nerves. The guys being confident. How are they going to play on the field? And I told Astral, man, like, go sicko mode. If you got that double, triple flip reset, go for it, man. Your boys are going to back you. They know you're good. So keep an eye on Astral. Boys feeling it. Boys feeling it. We got to sit and talk with him. So he's going to go sicko mode tomorrow and hit some clips, he said. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see if the Falcons allows it to happen, because we know their challenge game is impeccable. So good to see Falcons still staying alive, and a tough opponent against them between them and Corp. The one after that we then got was Space Station and Endpoint, and unfortunately for Endpoint, not much of a fight. We sat and talked with Pixel, one of their spokespeople, on their behalf. I've actually been in his vlogs. You'll probably see him in his vlog again tomorrow. I gave him a little bit of ish, but he and I have been vibing, having a good time. But I sat and talked with him during this quite a bit in Lethamyr, and pretty one-sided from Space Station. Looking good. Daniel looks like he's feeling a little bit better. He was doing backflips yesterday, but still isn't at 100%, so hopefully he takes care of himself, but not too much, because we got to play him next. But Space Station, pretty one-sided. They ran away with this one. It was pretty convincing. Guys are looking good. Daniel continues to do what Daniel does. He looked really good in his 1v1 show match at the end of the day, too. But yeah, all Space Station, 4-0 clean sweep, as I expected Space Station to play this one really well, and they did. They only let up 4 goals total. Even after Endpoint made a timeout after game 2, it didn't matter. So yeah, Space Station run away with this one pretty convincingly. They look strong and one of the favorites moving forward. They'll be playing version 1 in the last game of today/tomorrow when you guys see this. It's gonna be a fight, always is. Thoughts on that one will be pretty interesting. So crazy stuff all around there. And then the last one we got, Energy versus Renegades. Renegades put up a good fight. Start off with a bang. Energy coming out saying, hey, we're gonna try to play the same way. And then Justin went sicko mode. Justin, World Championship version. I think as soon as these guys got to play in a crowd, you knew they were going to be competitive, and it definitely shows. So we got that 100% out of NRG. Although Renegades call a timeout and it works in their favor, 2 in a row for them, 2-0 and 3-2, able to shut it down. But eventually, Energy offense there is too much. I watched this one with Tryhouse up in the suite, and had a pretty fun conversation with him, just talking and kind of showing and watching the matches. I think Tordad was next to us. Shoutouts to Rod. But yeah, we watching this one and seeing how things played out. But yeah, Renegades just unfortunately don't have the firepower like Energy does. Good to see Energy still stabilize and do their thing. But 2 in favor of Energy, 2 in favor of Renegades, and then 2 in favor of Energy again. They decide not to use their timeout as well. So it seems like the mental's in a good place. It seems like Energy is definitely hitting a stride, and they're feeling good. All smiles on stage too. So seems like mentality-wise they're in a good place. But if they go up against a little bit better team, which they will be playing Semper, whose offense has been clicking, we'll see what happens. It's about being consistent every single day, and there's going to be a lot of pressure tomorrow. It's crazy to think some of these matches are worth like $80,000 or something like that. And I don't even think the players have it crossed their mind, even though it's so much money. So Energy and Semper tomorrow should be fun. But yeah, that was the day. They did then 1v1 show matches. I think Turk and Yanks is playing. You had apparently Jack. You had, I think, Joria is playing ones as well. I forget who their opponents were. I forgot who the promos were, but they had some 1v1 matches that night as well, which was pretty cool. But for the most part, we kept it pretty simple. We recorded some content for V1 and then headed out, did a bit more of a meet and greet, and then had to cut it short so I could get to a business meeting. So I'm going to go get prettied up to the best of my ability, and then I've got a business meeting that I got to go to tonight on behalf of the crew I'm here with. And bright and early again tomorrow for the breakfast tacos and the march to the match, where we're gonna do the like smoke bombs and the flyers and the parade type thing to the first match of the day, which should be pretty cool. So looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow and hanging out with you and meeting all of you. But the main focus for now is to rest the voice. So again, never sleeps. We on the grind. So with that said, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming and watching. Thanks for all saying hi tomorrow, as well as today when you guys are watching this, and yesterday when we recorded this as well, because you guys were insane. But if you guys enjoy the content, as always, consider hitting the like button, hitting subscribe, and turn on notifications, as it helps out greatly. Any questions, comments, concerns down below. Bracket will be in the description so you guys can follow along. And predictions for Championship Sunday coming up next. Peace.